So it's dark here at 4:30 in Nashville, Tennessee now, and it's awful. Is it getting dark where you guys are? Give me a Stacy's like, yeah. Most of you are hidden, so I'm not seeing all your faces tonight. It's been a long day, right? So listen, anyway, tonight we're going to talk about something that I love to talk about. And it's very legitimate. Here comes Sarita. It's very legitimate. It's excuses. Excuses. Why we can't. Why we can't do this. Why it's too hard for us. Why? And we all have reasons why, right? I have always had reasons why I could not change my life. I have found the reasons of one of my biggest reasons for changing my diet is I didn't understand how it needed to look. But then my next reason was I don't have time. How many of you all say that? Have said that? I don't have time. Yeah. Another thing is, how many of you all have said, I don't like to cook? That'd be me. That'd be me. I want to know your excuses. And I want to tell you, I've been telling you guys this a lot. And I want you to hear my heart on it because I want you to remember. When did it become acceptable not to focus on our health? Because of time, when did it become acceptable? I tell the story and I'm going to tell it again. I bought my daughter and my son a new car when they graduated. Not an expensive car. This was years ago. They're 35 and 33. But they were new cars. And I was driving a jalopy. But I told them since they were little that if they graduate and do well in school, which they did, that I would buy them a new car. Thank God I got $11,000 cars back in the day. Now they're atrocious price. The prices are nuts, but they're around 11 or 12,000 back in the day. They got Chevy Cobalts, so you can imagine, right? But still, that was hard on mom. One graduated one year, the next one graduated the next year. So 2 brand new car payments. And I went out and saw my daughter's car probably only about 3 or 4 months in. And it was just full of crap. I mean, just not real trash or anything, but books and gym equipment and all this stuff. Just the whole backseat piled up. There was stuff down in the floorboard. And I thought, holy crap, I got mad. I went in that house and I just let her have it. How dare you? You're disrespecting me. Your car's nicer than mine. This is awful. Well, mom, I am busy. I don't have time to clean it up. And I just remember thinking, you are irresponsible. And I told her, you're just an irresponsible car owner. You get outside and you clean that car up and you take care of it. You change the oil when it needs change. You put gas in it when it needs gas. Don't let the tank get real low so it sucks all the dirt out of the tank. You keep gas in the car. You put the windshield wiper fluid in the windshield wipers stuff when it needs it. You do these things. It's got to have maintenance. You got to do these things. It's important for your car to last, telling her all this. And it wasn't very long after that. I mean, if you guys have heard my story, I've been on all the crash diets, right? I have done it and just abused my body. I would just go without food. I've taken HCG drops. Those were weird. And just a green apple a day. I have ate a whole bag of the family Lay's chips in one day. That's all I ate. That was my entire diet for one day. And that was because I was too lazy to cook, because I was too busy, and also because I didn't like to cook. And I would end up doing things like that, just a whole bag of chips or just chunks of cheese. I'd reach in the refrigerator, break a chunk of cheese off, and that would be my lunch, And that was me. And I always said, I just don't have time. I'll never be one of those people who goes to the gym. Those people are just weird. Those people who are always worried about what they eat and all this stuff are just weird. And it hit me one day. Allie, you're an irresponsible body owner. You are treating your body like it's trash. Who in the world should ever say that they don't have time to take care of their body? You think that taking care of her car was bad? How about not taking care of your body? She can get another car. You cannot get another body. I was like, crap. Why am I doing this to myself? I hate to cook. I don't like to cook. I don't like to think about what I need to eat, but I also didn't like feeling like crap. I hated how I felt. I hated how I looked. My hormones were all over the place because I was feeding my body trash. I wasn't giving my body the nutrition it needed. And my red light was on, my engine light was on, and I just ignored it and I just kept on going. Man, high cholesterol, weight gain, carrying weight around my middle, couldn't sleep at night, all these things. My red light was telling me something is wrong. And I thought, I have a terminal disease. There's got to be something really wrong with me. Went to the doctor, did all the tests, and he said, your thyroid, we'd probably like to put you on some thyroid medicine. And it scared me. And I thought, people who go on thyroid medicine usually can't get off of it. I don't want to do that. And so, you know what? I just changed my diet and I changed my life. And you guys know that. And after the age of 51, this happened. And you know what? My thyroid is normal now. It was because I was abusing my body and doing all the stuff I shouldn't have done. Cholesterol, normal. Thyroid, normal. Boy, I had to make some changes. And my excuses for being an irresponsible body owner had to go in the trash. Because I could replace a car. I could replace a car if I have to. I can buy a new house. My daddy's house burned to the ground when he was 72, 71 or 72 years old. He started again, lost everything, started over at that age. And I said, I didn't have time to take care of my body. When did that become acceptable? When did it become acceptable? It's not acceptable. And imagine, we bitch and moan and talk about, oh, so-and-so, what, so-and-so, we talk about other people's habits. We talk about people who smoke or people who drink or people who eat excessive sugar and people who are overweight and we don't look in the mirror and accept our responsibility for what we're doing to our bodies. There's a scripture that says you look at the log in somebody else's eye, but you've got a whole moat in yours, and you're talking about them. I mean, look at you're looking at their sin and judging them, and then you're over here just with the most horrible things going on. And that was me. I was judging the people who were bigger than me, and I really was internally. And I was doing all this crap to my body. Ridiculous. So I reminded you guys before, and I'm going to remind you again, the holidays are coming. This is not about on a diet, off a diet. It's not. We have push times. Those push times are hard. When you come on at Bod Babes, you got to push. You got to push. You're here for a reason. You got to push. But there comes a time when now I'm not in the big push. I'm not trying to lose all the weight and all that, but I found this medium, this happy medium. I found my balance. Any other time I would have got to my goal and I would have said, I'm to my goal. I wouldn't have known what to do. I'd be at my goal and I'd go off a diet. Then I'd start eating like I used to. And guess what would happen? It would shock me that the results I got didn't stay. I would be shocked. Well, I thought I'd just be, I think the first time I ever lost the weight, I just thought, I'm done. I'm done. I have arrived. I've hit my goal, and I'll be darned if not a year later it was coming back on like with a vengeance. And I was just eating Twinkies or whatever I wanted because, hey, I was in shape now. Look at me go. And girls, there we went. Roller coaster ride. And I had to learn to find my balance. And I'm not in the big push, but I'll tell you, I feel so much better taking care of me. And us women, we are notorious for taking care of everybody else and everything else. Our jobs, we need to take care of them, but listen to me. Our children, yes, we need to take care of them too. And our husbands, yes. Grandchildren, yes. We need to take care of all of them. We do. But we got to take care of us first. And I know that I have, Sarita has arrived. Yes, you have, girl. She hit her goal, her weight loss goal. Find your balance, girlfriend. Don't go eating Twinkies and bonbons for every meal. You know what? We have to find our balance. It's so important. And we take care of everybody else, like I said, but we don't take care of us. It sounds selfish to say, hey, I got to take care of me first. Boy, it sounds selfish. But if we honestly, if I had a business owner on here and she was just driven, she's a workaholic like me. She wanted to take care of her business. She did not have time to eat her food. I do not have time, Allie. Do you not understand? I do not have time. And I said, guess what? One day you're going to have to make time because your body's going to shut down and you're going to have to make time. And then you tell me what's going to happen to your business. If you can't take time to eat a freaking lunch meat sandwich, lady, you've got some problems. You got to take care of your body. And a lunch meat sandwich isn't the best thing in the world, but it's better than nothing. If you don't have time for that, you've got a priority problem. Your priorities are off. And that sounds mean, but it's true because somebody's got to stick up for you. Might as well be me. You coach. I'll stick up for you. I'll stick up for your body. And I'll tell you, quit treating it like crap. You get one body. One. Quit making excuses and saying it's acceptable to treat your body like crap. If you treated your car like that, jalopy, you've seen him run down the road. Somebody's wheels just basically hanging off, muffler dragging, cars filthy, windows cracked. They don't care, and being poor is one thing because girlfriends, I have had a wrecked car in the past and I drove that sucker because I couldn't afford to fix it. I took the insurance money and went on my way. It's just big dent in the passenger side door, jalopy. But I'll tell you this, bald tires on, I'm telling you, in the rain, it was scary. I had to drive real slow. That's where I've been. But you know what? I made sure to change my oil because if that thing went out on me, I was in trouble. Right? And I'm telling you today, some of us are driving around, we're putting makeup on our face, we're fixing our hair, we're shining, getting our skincare on, and we're not changing our oil and taking care of our machine here. And some of us, the wheels just about ready to drop off the side. I wouldn't get, it's like the oil needs changed. I wouldn't give myself water if I was so thirsty I could hardly talk. I hated water. I would turn down water all the time. I hate water. I'd go so thirsty and not drink a glass of water because I was waiting to get something else. Awful. Awful. And just treating my body like crap. And it's not acceptable. It's not. You get one of you. There's one of you. And I know I keep saying it, and I know I keep harping on this, but around this holiday season, I hear every excuse as to why you ladies, and why I want to give myself excuses sometimes still, why we can't. And I want to be really honest with you. I have women on here that have every reason like they can't. I have them. We have doctors here who their schedule is nuts. We have a lady whose life flight never knows when. She's a nurse. She never knows when she's going to get called out. Every excuse to not do it. One of our doctors here from Canada has 5 teenagers. I'm not kidding you. She's an eye doctor with 5 teenagers. And she's just thanking God they went back to school. And she's doing this thing. Pediatricians and nurses and CEOs of businesses right here. And you know what? They've had to change their mentality on why they have to make this a priority. Because if this body fails, we literally have nothing else. Nothing. The richest man in the world, let's just say Elon Musk, one of the richest men in the world. Let's say Elon Musk, who needs to go on a diet, by the way. He's got a little pot belly going on. Needs to eat better. Let's say he's not taking care of his body. You know, he's wanting to fly spaceships up. And if you saw his spaceship come down and actually go back into the launching mechanism a couple weeks ago, that was one of the coolest things I ever did see. So the rocket goes up and it comes back down and it reseats itself inside of this mechanism that's holding it. Coolest thing ever. I mean, it was cool. You're just sitting there waiting for it to explode, but it was cool. And, you know, wanting to go to Mars, you know, he created vehicles on all these things. And all these things are meticulous. And he's going to look at every detail on every fact. He's one of the smartest people I've ever heard speak. A little weird, but also very smart. And can you imagine his excuses for not taking care of his body? Because he's got to have some. Maybe he doesn't say them out loud. But I looked at him and I was thinking, man, he needs to get his diet, his nutrition under control. It's a little bit off, for sure. You know, and if he gets sick, imagine all the projects he's working on that are going to fail. You know, they need him. In your life, you may not have the big the big rockets and the cars and all of the stuff, right? But you got people that depend on you. I hear women all the time come on here and say, I want to be active in my 80s and 90s. I want to live a long life. But they can't make their lunch in their 50s. They don't have time to get up in the morning and make them even a protein shake. Ladies, I know busy. Oh my gosh, I know busy. Thank God for Tony, for Wade, and for Eric, but I would be working. I mean, I was working a lot of hours, 18, 20 hours, sometimes, no joke. And I understand it, every excuse. Wade would bring me my food while I was sitting on the laptop and say, you need to eat. You need some water. You need catering to me. And then finally he said, Allie, you're not even going to the gym. Get up and go to the gym. This is when we first started Bod Babes. And you know what? I had to fix that. I love helping you ladies. That is the highlight. I feel like I have so much purpose when I see you guys say things like, oh my gosh, Allie, I got my blood work back and my cholesterol has dropped. Things like that. We've had women come off of metformin for type 2 diabetes. We've had women come off high blood pressure medicine and men. We've had all kinds of cool things happen. That is a highlight of my life. And I want to sit there saying, these ladies are important. They are so important. I've got something to commit my life to. I don't have time to do all this other stuff. I've got to help these ladies. And guess what? If I don't help me, I can't help you. I'll be sick. I've got to take care of me first so I can do what I'm here to do. And you do too. See, we've got the excuses, and I'm not telling you the excuses aren't true. The excuses. I mean, you look at that lady that has to take off in Life Flight, and you tell me that she doesn't have a real excuse. She does. She has an excuse. Believe me. Working 12-hour shifts, she's got an excuse. So she has an excuse, but she's only got one body. And one thing that she said to me hit me, and she said, Allie, I'm getting to where some of these people, I have to help lift them. And she said, I'm weak. I'm overweight. I'm weak. I don't feel good. I'm tired. She was talking to me about all of the drinks that, the high energy drinks, the energy drinks she was drinking per day, 5 or 6 a day, plus coffee, plus just eating whatever they brought in to eat. She had every excuse not to learn the app. She had every excuse. And she said, I've got to fix this because I'm not going to be able to do my job. I know that as a fact. And she's saving lives. And she said, if I don't take care of me, I can't take care of anybody else. I've got to fix this. The bad thing is, I've learned from many women that are here from the health industry, is that the health industry nurses will be walking the halls and not get a lunch break. True. Not get their breaks. Christine's shaking her head. She knows. Not getting your breaks, not getting your time away. I've had women, nurses with protein bars in their pockets because they did that for emergencies because they didn't know when they'd get to eat. And it's awful. They have every excuse. Bonnie was she was in the emergency room. And she just said, you never know. I mean, you never know. And most times you do not get a break. It might be state law, but you don't get a break. And that's just how it is. And, every excuse. And I'm going to tell you, if you would see Bonnie right now, I mean, she has every excuse. The woman's got some guns. She's been working out and she looks great. So the excuses are valid, ladies. They are. I'm not telling you your excuses aren't valid, and I'm not being hard on you today. I am being hard on you because I want you to see. I want you to see how important you are. You're really important. I had another lady, it was she's no longer on the program, but she was 72 years old and on the program. And when she started, she couldn't do a push-up at all. She couldn't do all these things. She didn't know how to eat and all these different things. And she started fighting for herself. And it was beautiful to see. And she could do a push-up and she was eating her food right. She was feeling better. She was getting stronger. And then her sister got sick. Terminal disease. And then within like a few weeks, her brother-in-law, her sister's husband, was diagnosed with a terminal disease. I think it was both cancer. And she had to take care of them. And she told me, Allie, if I had not made myself a priority, she said, I would not be able to take care of them. I know as a fact, I could not do what was required of me to do. And I would have so much regret with that because she said, I know where my sister would be. I know where my brother-in-law would be. They would not be taken care of like I wanted to do. And thank God I came on to Bod Babes. You never know. I mean, you never know what's going to be needed of you. Or you don't know what maybe you're avoiding by taking care of your body. Maybe you're avoiding some kind of sickness or disease on yourself. And one more thing I'm going to leave you with before we go. I know I'm on my soapbox about this, but it's like we've got to break this thing mentally, ladies. It's not a time thing. It's really a priorities thing. because we give time sometimes to the most ridiculous things. And we say we don't have time for the important things. And if we would look at our schedules and the time that we're on Facebook, when we could just get up and make ourselves something to eat. And I know we're tired, and I know we want to zone out, and I know we just want that scroll time and just look at pictures and just scroll time. But I'll tell you, take care of you in the long run. Don't sacrifice your health because you're tired. You're only going to get more tired. My mom told me, I talk about my mom here a lot, my real mom, not my stepmom, my real mom. She tells me things like, I don't want to go on another diet again. She's 76 years old. She's tired of diets. Well, she doesn't have to go on a diet again. She just needs to learn to eat. She tells me, I'm just too tired to get up and walk. And she's obese and she's too tired to get up and walk. And I told mom, you're tired because you're not walking. Well, that doesn't even make sense. And I said, you got to move your body. A body at rest stays at rest. A body in motion wants to be in motion. If I sit all day, I'm used to going to the gym now. If I sit all day every day, I have a desire to get up and move my body. I'm like, I don't feel good. I start aching. I feel tired. I don't want to do anything. A body in motion stays in motion. You got to get yourself moving. And believe me, you're going to have more energy. When you eat right, you're going to have more energy. You know, I'm too tired to make dinner. We just order pizza. You know, that's okay every now and then. But you're too tired because you're not eating right and you're not taking care of your body. I have more energy now than I've had in a lot of years. And I was going to let you guys talk. And here I am talking the whole time. I'm Wendy. You know, I make fun of Wade and I'm like, dang, boy, take a breath. And I do just the same. But I hope you guys realize that you got a coach that, thank God you pay me because I like having a house and being able to buy food and things that I need. Thank God for that. I thank you for that. But you're not just a paycheck to me. You're not just a paycheck to Wade. You're definitely not just a paycheck to Tony. I have taken calls from that woman, and she was just crying over some of you guys. Real literally crying. She loves her job. She said, Allie, I'd work at Bob Babes even if you didn't pay me. And I said, I'm going to pay you. But she would, and she means it. You guys are not a cash cow. You are not just a paycheck. You are important. I'll tell you, you guys can help give my life purpose. I told you before, when I quit the music industry, and I haven't really sang, I tried to sing a song one time or twice, and I just could not do it. I could not do it. I've sang my whole life. Mom says I sang before I spoke, and I believe that. My life, since all that I can remember, has been about music. And when I walked away from it brokenhearted, I was clearly brokenhearted. And I haven't been able to do it. I can't even sing happy birthday at birthday parties. I thought that music was my purpose for living. And it really was. I remember seeing grown men cry when I sang, and people give their life to Christ when I sang. And it was my purpose in life, you know? And even when I didn't do that and I was on television, we would sing a song like Forward. And I mean, grown men would cry at a concert where there was thousands of people around. And I thought that was my purpose. So when I lost that, I felt like I had nothing left. And you guys, and this thing at Bod Babes, touching women's lives, has truly given my life purpose again. So I am so thankful for every single one of you. But I want to fight for you. And I know that you get tired of hearing me preach these things. Allie is telling me again how to not treat my body like a jalopy, like an old car. She's trying to help me do maintenance on my body and take care of it. And I know you guys, I preach the same message over and over again, but I'm going to keep preaching it until you get it. Because sometimes, you know, I have a problem with patience. And I have a guy that I listen to, and he talks about, well, you learned about patience one time, so surely you don't need to hear about patience again. And I'm like, I need to hear about patience like every freaking day. I need somebody to remind me it's going to be all right. You're going to make it. Have patience, all this stuff, and just do what needs doing while you're waiting. And patience. I gotta hear it over and over again. Same thing with my food. Wade has to preach to me sometimes about the gym. Get up and go to the gym. You need to go to the gym. I know I need to go to the gym more than anybody. I know I need to go to the gym, but sometimes I just get so busy. And then I'm like, Wade's, he's preaching at me. Get up, let's go out the door right now. You got 5 minutes. I'm like, all right. You know, I need to hear those messages sometimes over and over again. And we need to be reminded, you need to be reminded of the importance of taking care of your body, your temple. There's only one of you. That's it. Just one. And you may not see your value. And that breaks my heart if you don't. But there's lots of people around you that do and that need you. And maybe you haven't even met those people yet. Maybe you haven't even met the person that really needs you to touch their life yet. Who knows? Who knows why we're on this earth? Take care of you. Life is short. Man, I can look back and I'm like, where did 57 years go? I'm almost 60. Wow. Let's do our best with what we got. Give it our best shot. I love you, ladies, and I thank you for joining me tonight. Have a great night. And if you need anything, reach out. Here's one thing that you need: coaching calls. Get them in. Get those coaching calls on the calendar. Love you, ladies. Night.